How to be a better construction project manager. This pattern that we're going to show you in this video will change your career. It's absolutely amazing. So what are the 8 steps towards being a better manager? We've covered how to be a manager, but how can you be a better one than you already are? What is an example of what great project managers do? And how can you approach your role to really head in this direction? We're going to share all that right now. I hope you're stoked because this is going to be great. So as I begin this video, I do want to say that I love project managers. The role of a project manager is crucial, and the role of PM and Super together working as equals is the best way to do it. I mean, the project manager, he or she will be involved early on in pre-construction, probably even interviewed or proposed for the project, will make sure the project plan is complete, supervise it throughout, be ultimately responsible, and then close it out even through the warranty period. I mean, this is a big job. We rely on project managers so much, but they can't do it all. And so I'm going to make a statement, but it's not offensive, it's not diminishing. The main thing a PM needs to learn to say if they want to be better than they already are is, what do you need? How can I help? Now, that does not mean that they're somebody's servant. That doesn't mean that they're somebody's assistant. It means that in their very ennobled role, their high station, they need a lot of people to help them all the way from pre-con to construction to the warranty phase. A lot of people to really do well and perform well together for this project to go well together as a whole. So anytime those folks arrive to the project site, it's the project manager's job to say, what do you need? How can I support you? How can I help? Because once the PM enables what they need through finances, decision-making, permits, contracts, whatever, then they can do their job, then they work well together, then the project comes around and finishes successfully. So here are some tips. Manage the project as a leader, not just finances, paperwork, and emails. It's very, very sad when this happens, when project managers feel like they're simply the project accountant, or they're simply there to file paperwork, or they're simply there to answer emails. I swear to you right now, and really not engage or enter into conversations with the team. It is so sad. A project manager is at her or his best when they are walking the project, leading the project, engaging with the team, training people, working with trade partners, governing the numbers, managing and reducing and preventing risks. That takes a whole lot more than answering emails. That takes a whole lot more than just dealing with paperwork. That takes a whole lot more than just knowing the finances. That means that you're actually engaging with the product. You know what you're doing. You understand the schedule. You have a relationship with the superintendent. You are managing, mentoring, and training your project engineers. You know the trade partners. You know them by name. You're engaging in meetings. You understand high-level leadership. You've provided clarity. You're doing check-ins. It is so much more than just answering emails. Emails, you're going to kill me for saying this, but should be 30 minutes to 2 hours a day max. If you're like really inundated, 3 hours most. All of your other time is working with your team to run the project. So make sure that you're running the project, not just overseeing finances, paperwork, and answering emails. Number 2, a project manager should never say this when asked about the schedule. Oh, well, let me check with the superintendent. That should never come out of her or his mouth. The project manager should understand the schedule just as well as the superintendent and be able to explain it, because how else is she or he going to write contracts or align procurement or make sure that the quality system is running properly if she or he doesn't know the schedule? The answer is obvious. The only real time where we need the PM to defer to the super is when somebody is going to make a decision or adjustment or change the schedule. Then we're like, hey, let's gather the superintendent with the trade partners. That needs to be a collaborative decision. They own that schedule. The super owns the schedule. I'm not going to make that, but I know the schedule. Number 3, be in touch with the field and ask what they need. If we're always doing this, we're not in touch. We're in fact disconnected. We need to be in touch with the field, be listening to conversations, take field walks, check in with the craft, know and understand and listen to the foreman, and be able to have like a pulse or feel for the pulse of the project, so that in the daily meetings when we are working on our scrum boards, in that 5, 10, 15-minute stand-up huddle with the team, we're always in tune to the project needs. That's a key component. Number 4, I've already talked about it, but lead the Scrum process. Now, this process isn't exactly per the Scrum framework that you would use in things like design, right, where you're iterating on an actual product, but you will use the same Scrum system to actually accomplish tasks to enable flow for the field. And so I recommend a 5 to 15-minute daily stand-up huddle, and the tasks, whether it's writing an RFI or getting a resource or providing information or reviewing a submittal or aligning a procurement item, whatever the office team is doing needs to be on that Scrum board under that backlog. And every day the project manager will ensure the team has everything prioritized for the most urgent things that will create flow in the field, and that the in progress column is focused, and that the people on the team can work in one process flow. So you will have a planning meeting at the beginning of the week. You will have your daily check-ins. You will have your review meeting and possibly even your retrospective. So you will use the Scrum system to organize the office team to make sure that everything, all resources and information, are heading to the field when they need it according to the tacted rhythm. Number 5, as a project manager, you will be building the team. And so I want you to be familiar with all of Patrick Lencioni's books, from the table group, all of them. As a project manager, I'd like you to use the personal histories exercise, the positive comments exercise that's in another video, which we can actually link you to in the description below. I'd like you to be familiar with how to actually build a team, the 5 behaviors, the 5 keys for a leader, and what your motives should be. I want you to be familiar with how to run remarkable meetings, how to create clarity, what an ideal team player is, how to create engagement. These are all things that are covered in Patrick Lencioni's books. So make it a focus to build your team. And you know what I want to build? I want to build this relationship. So if you have any comments, any questions, or you can't remember a resource, please just comment. I will personally, me myself, respond to the comments with you. And if it's a larger conversation, I'll give you my phone number or my email address. So I would love to receive your comments as a part of this team. Number 6, project managers, if you want to be good, will manage the pre-con process, the planning process, and really make sure that that project does not go out the door unless it is remarkably planned. This is so key. This is so huge. And I want you to know that a project manager, he or she is at their best when in schematic design, design development, and then the CD phase, they are monitoring the budget and the overall schedule and making sure that all needs for a whole and holistic project are being delivered as a part of the plan and budget, and that around the design development phase, we're bringing in that partner superintendent and making it not my plan or your plan, but our plan, the team's plan together. And that all needs in that plan and schedule are brokered, bought, and covered before we ever hit the ground running. So we don't just take over a plan and try and manage the finances, the information, and the emails. We make a plan that we know we can follow, that we know we can manage as we lead people. Number 7, information flow. We do not manage RFIs and submittals and pay apps. A project manager makes sure that the information from its inception gets all the way to the craft in the shortest amount of time possible. So making sure communication systems, that information systems, submittal systems, RFI systems, and the posting to the field is effective and on time is a key part of your project to make sure that everybody has what they need. In fact, let me do a quick sidebar here. You're not going to think, oh, what do I need to do? I need to do with my emails or information or my role. You're going to think from a perspective of what do the supers, foremen, and workers need? What do they need? What do they need? What do they need? And when you're able to answer that question, then you'll know what you need to do on this end. Number 8, provide a buffer for your team with the owner and with corporate. Now that doesn't mean shield them. That doesn't mean play savior with them. That means go be that representative for the owner. Go make sure that their needs are met. Go read the owner's mind. Make sure corporate is always informed and that they're happy so that your team can do their job. Now you will hold them accountable and you will not shield them from external accountability, but shield them from the nonsense, the mess, and the chaos. It's just like a visionary and an integrator in a business. The visionary will have all kinds of chaotic thoughts, thoughts and direction, the integrator will shield the organization from that chaos so that it's running properly. So as a project manager, shield your team from as much chaos as you possibly can. And so I'll close out with a little bit of an analogy. You are like a celebrity manager, not a celebrity agent. Let me give you the difference. A celebrity agent is a person who's legally empowered on behalf of that celebrity and represents negotiations and dealings on their behalf, and sometimes has decision-making authority, right? A lot of project managers in construction think they're like a celebrity's agent, where they're literally just the legal representative and they just send people in and then they're hands off. They're not in charge of the talent, they're just in charge of the contracts. That is the wrong way to look at it. Project managers are more like celebrity managers. And a manager for a celebrity helps them in their work and advances their careers, provides training and support and coaching, and helps manages the schedules and the contracts. So they are a more holistic approach. They are I'm going to help this celebrity succeed, and I'm going to broker the resources that they need. So you are not an agent for your construction team, you are their manager, which means that you are a builder, you are a support, you are a coach, and you broker the resources they need and ask them, what do you need and how can I help? And so I hope you found this video helpful and that you can go be a better project manager. In the description below, I will link you to a video on how to run a project step by step. You can merge those together, and I will also link you to 3 checklists that you will find super helpful in your role so that you can be a better project manager. On we go.